What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. It's been an interesting story to follow up on, at least. These woke college professors or presidents at these super mega Ivy League schools, whether they're Harvard or Penn State or I think MIT might have been one of them, all wildly uh, getting crushed in the mainstream media for, basically refusing to disavow some pretty basic bad behavior from their students. But that's not the biggest story. The biggest story has been the financial backlash as they continue to dig their heels in. Harvard has now confirmed that their president will continue to stay after already losing over $1 billion in backers. This is what the commitment to the message really looks like. $1 billion in retracted donations, and they're still sticking with this person. Now, I would normally applaud this as a free speech victory because students should be able to speak their minds, especially here in America where we have a First Amendment right to do so. The trouble is we know that that is a double standard, that conservative students on campuses, for example, certainly wouldn't be able to go scream in the face of pro-choice people about how they deserve to be erased from the planet, which is what they were chanting about Jewish people, at least some allege anyway. Harvard University announced Tuesday that under fire President Claudine Gay will keep her job, even after reportedly losing more than $1 billion in donations since the disastrous congressional testimony about anti-Semitism. First of all, don't they charge tuition at these schools? I think we need to learn a little bit more. We need to learn a little bit more about who's donating all this money and what the exchange looks like, what the quid pro quo looks like. The Harvard Corporation, the university's highest governing body, made its announcement Tuesday following night-long talks between the president, university, and university leaders. A source familiar with the decision told the student newspaper, the Harvard Crimson, quote, "As members of the Harvard Corporation, we today reaffirm our support for President Gay's continued leadership of our Harvard University. Our extensive deliberations affirm our confidence that President Gay is the right leader to help our community heal and address the very serious societal issues we are facing," the group said in a statement. I can't believe it. I guess I can. I guess I can. This is modern wokeism, willing to cut off the nose, to spite the face kind of thing. This is nuts. $1 billion. Anybody, actually, we could look at Bud Light. They lost billions and that guy kept his job. This is the commitment to the message. It acknowledged that the university should have released an immediate, direct, and unequivocal condemnation of the issues that, of the initial attack, noting calls for the removals of entire groups of people are despicable and contrary to the fundamental human values, in apparent contrast to the Harvard president's testimony last week regarding accusations that the president also plagiarized numerous portions of her 1997 PhD thesis in direct violation of Harvard's academic integrity policies. The Harvard Corporation said it became aware of claims of the plagiarism in late October and initiated an independent review. On December 9th, the fellows reviewed the results, which revealed a few instances of inadequate citation. So, in other words, yes, they plagiarized. The president is a plagiarist, has cost the school $1 billion in donations, has turned Harvard into the laughingstock of the college world, and she kept her job. While the analysis found no violation of Harvard's standards for research misconduct, President Gay's proactively requesting 4 corrections in 2 articles to insert citations and quotation marks that were omitted from the original publications. So she stole a quote or she stole some piece of text, and now she's saying, I was really just quoting these other people. I was simply quoting them. Still, the fellow says, in this tumultuous and difficult time, we unanimously stand in support of the president. At Harvard, we champion open discourse and academic freedom, and we are united in strong belief that calls for Raising arms against our students and disruptions of our classrooms experience will not be tolerated, but they have tolerated it, haven't they? It's unclear what led the board to make the controversial decision to ignore fervent calls for her firing days after the University of Pennsylvania, Liz McGill, lost her job over similar testimony, failing to condemn for calls for the entire erasure of Jewish people. Billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman claimed the board did not want to seem like it was simply bowing to public demands for her ouster. I've been told now by 2 reporters that one of the factors that made it challenging for Harvard board to fire this person was that they were concerned that it would look like they were kowtowing to me, claimed Ackman of the public criticism and calls for action. In other words, the reporters explained, quoting the trustees, had Bill just stopped tweeting, we would have come to the right answer, he claimed. So much for veritas, he said, referring to the Latin word truth that is part of Harvard's motto. Ackman of the CEO Pershing Square has made a name for himself as outspoken critic of Ivy League presidents, whom he accuses of failing to stamp out wild opinions on campuses. Now, look, this is part of the problem when you solicit donations. You know, they get some sort of power or clout over you, which is a huge issue. You shouldn't be able to do that. These universities are charging tuition, presumably for some reason. Now, obviously, that's not how things actually work. The real money is letting billionaires dictate what the university does with their money. And I'm sure that these woke ideologues are using the exact same methodology to get their message in into these colleges. I am personally aware of more than $1 billion of terminated donations from a small group of Harvard's most generous Jewish and non-Jewish alumni. I have been copied and blind copied on numerous letters and emails to the university from alums who have written scathing letters to the president or boards withdrawing donations, Ackman claimed. He went on to accuse the president of doing more damage to Harvard's reputation than anyone in university history. Ackman had also previously claimed that the president was hired as the president due to the school's diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative. Certainly that seems true. And shared accusations of the university president of plagiarizing numerous portions of her PhD thesis in direct violations of Harvard's academic integrity policy. Still, the executive committee of Harvard University's Alum Association said Monday that it would stand by her. And this is what's happening to these students now. We've seen several law firms come out. Now we've seen Dave Portnoy coming out and doubling down, saying he will never hire a Harvard grad again after the president, Claudine Gay, keeps her job. Your diploma is useless to me. The entire country should do the same. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy has doubled down on his pledge to never hire a Harvard graduate again after the Ivy League school's pledge to support its president, Claudine Gay. Just to reiterate, I will never hire a Harvard grad again. Your diploma is useless to me. And this is, goes on Fox News to talk about this. As pressure mounted for this woman to resign, claims of plagiarism emerged, claiming that obviously she had lifted work from other people. Despite the evidence of plagiarism throughout her career, she will remain at the helm of the university. There is no accountability at Harvard. Elon Musk, on his part, reacted to her keeping her job with the hashtag defund Harvard. Free Beacon contributor Noah Pollock said, exempting her from plagiarism rules is part of sending a message. Harvard is Animal Farm now, and some, quote, scholars are more equal than others. The president may be a grim, corrupt DEI apparatchik. Never even heard of that word before. Apparatchik. But in public, we refer to her as a brilliant scholar. The Harvard Corporation, the college's 10-member executive board, did nothing. I mean, it's so wild to me that this broad plagiarized stuff went and at a congressional meeting, embarrassed the entire university, and quite frankly, has hurt all of their students' likelihood of getting great jobs after college, because there's this stain now on Harvard grads. Now, no one's going to pull out of Harvard because generally people kind of look out for each other in the woke world. But this is one time, I think, now where it doesn't look like it. It looks like there's been real damage done here, billions of dollars. Now, you might think, okay, well, China is just going to replace that billions of dollars. I don't know. Maybe. But this is a very real, consequence that, I'm not like, I get the free speech thing, but they have never really backed free speech on these universities. It's just the far leftist agenda that they're allowed to speak. Look at any time a conservative speaker speaks at the campus and people are busting windows and disrupting events and all this kind of stuff. They don't call that free speech, right? They don't defend conservatives' rights on these campuses. This is good. I think this is a big win and people should continue to apply pressure to these idiots because it starts at the top. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.